don't know if I necessarily want to add this guitar to the gear profile format, simply because it's too new for me to fall in that love category as I have with my other instruments. But I knew I still wanted to tell the story of my newest guitar. One of the early episodes of the series was looking at my Fender Mexican Standard Telecaster in Electron Blue. It's probably my second favourite guitar, just behind my Les Paul. I did 5 mods to this and it's amazing, and it plays and it sounds utterly fantastic to me. But I knew that the niggle for a USA Telecaster would come. My goals for this were to get a Telecaster made in the USA, but it had to have a rosewood fingerboard and also have an interesting finish, something that wasn't just black, white, sunburst or butterscotch. Until recently, I paid my rent 6 months up front, so I would save $5,000 over the course of a few months, and then once I reached that point, I allowed myself to indulge in some gear purchases. Once that rent date hit though, and I had paid it, then I was back into saving mode. So I only had a few weeks in a given 6-month period, and in December and early January, that was my window to realize my Tele dream. After going through various marketplace searches, I set up a day where I visited 5 different sellers. The candidates included a Stingray bass in Preston, a limited edition American Ultra Telecaster in Rochdale, a limited edition Telecaster Deluxe in Stockport, an American Performer Telecaster in Salford, and a Taylor 314 CE in Sheffield. That one might sound a little familiar to you. Tele candidate number 1 was absolutely stunning. It was priced at $1,600 and I knew it scratched that visual itch that I had. But on this day of shopping, I brought my Vox AC10 and my own Telecaster with which to A/B them. Taking that guitar out of the case, it felt wonderful, and then I gave it a play. And for me, I've never enjoyed the sound and feel of noiseless single coil pickups, which was what that guitar had. Every time I've played guitars with noiseless single coils, I feel a slight loss of top end, and it's kind of sterile to me. As soon as I picked up my own guitar in comparison, I just found this one more fun to play. If I did purchase the Ultra, I'd only end up changing the pickups, which is basically what happened here. It felt really nice having been able to see that guitar, to pick it up, to play it, and know for definite that it didn't give me the spark that I needed. Next thing I'll do is skip to candidate number 3, which is an American Performer Telecaster in Honeyburst. Shortly after purchasing my Mexican Telecaster, before I did all the mods to it, I found a marketplace listing for one of these guitars at £600, which is a fucking steal. I even went to the guy's house and I tried it out, but because I was trying it through a not great amp that he had, and also because it was so soon after getting the blue Telecaster that I didn't want to just replace that immediately, I ended up backing out of that sale. And in one respect, it's a little bit of a mistake, but I knew that this guitar was available elsewhere from other sellers. Another one of these listings came up in or near Salford for around £800, and I knew that that would be a safe option, if not necessarily remarkable. Maybe I could have bought it and upgraded the pickups, and then that would be doing the similar kind of thing as what the Ultra Telecaster would be doing, but just at half the price. Candidate number 2 was a very interesting one for me, in a Fender Limited Edition Mahogany Telecaster Deluxe. As a dual humbucker guitar, this was one that would sonically separate itself a bit more from my own Tele. I liked the story that came with the guitar. It was salvage Honduran mahogany from Hurricane Mitch. And I went to Richard Henry Guitars in Stockport. I played it side by side with my Tele, and I noticed how the Deluxe was just its own beast. It was priced at £1,050, reduced a little bit from something like £1,200 or something like that. I laid out my plans and ideas of the day to Richard. If he was set on that price, I'd try the American Performer in Salford, make my choice, and then get in touch. But if he could do £1,000, I'd walk out with it there and then. He accepted, and I bought what is currently the most expensive guitar in my collection. truth, this guitar was and still remains a head over heart purchase. I know in my head that this is a great guitar, that I got it for a great price, and that it still sets itself apart from my Mexican Telecaster. But 4 months later, I still haven't quite gotten emotionally attached to this. Maybe that'll change as I play it more, both live and in the studio. This is a Fender Limited Edition Telecaster Deluxe. It's made of reclaimed Honduran mahogany in a crimson red transparent finish with a pair of shortbuckers. Mahogany veers away from Fender's typical tone wood choices of alder or ash, and this, in tandem with the humbuckers, actually puts this guitar towards Les Paul territory, just with the longer Fender 25.5-inch scale length. When I put down my Telecaster and I played this one, I thought, yep, that's still definitely a Tele. It still has the spank and zing, maybe from the longer scale length, whereas my Les Paul is a little bit smoother and creamier. However, for me, I can't really give many further descriptors of how this sounds because I've only had this guitar for like 3 months. I got this early January and I'm recording this at the end of April. So I'm still making my mind up about this guitar and trying to formulate thoughts for it, which is why this doesn't necessarily qualify as like a proper gear profile episode, as it were. This is like just, you know, this is my newest thing and I'm still making my mind up about it. What I think I'm going to do for the next section of this video is do some sound samples that like A, B, and C, like my blue Telecaster with this guitar and also with my Gibson Les Paul, and see what differences you notice, and then just kind of let that sit there for a bit. Turning on the JHS Bonsai. And in closing, this guitar remains a head over heart purchase for me. Yes, it's one that I very much spent the most amount of money on, so it's the most expensive in my collection, but emotionally, it is not the most expensive. I do not have the most emotional attachment to this guitar yet, and I think that will come with time. That will come with me playing it more at home through my rig and at jam nights and at gigs, and just spending more time really acquainting myself with it. Like, it's not sterile like the Ultra was, but it's still not quite as fun as my Mexican modded Telecaster. Maybe it's because I put more of myself into that guitar, and I haven't had the chance yet to put myself and my own stamp on the American one. Time will tell. My name's Marc Gallagher, and this has been sort of Gear Profile. This is like, I don't know, Gear Profile is what I've labeled this session and this video. Yeah, hopefully it's one that you've enjoyed nonetheless. If you like it, do consider checking out my other proper, better, like, executed, more well-scripted videos for this. But yeah, what am I saying? If you like the video, do consider supporting me on Patreon, and also follow me on your social media of choice at Marc Gallagher Music, Marc with a C. Until next time, my name's Marc Gallagher. Like the video if you want, share if you feel compelled to, and follow me on places. I'll catch you down the road.